Welcome back to another home tour. Today we are at 2813 West 44th Street South here in Wichita, Kansas. So to start off, we're gonna point out a few things outside. I mean, it was all bright and sunny this morning. Now we've got some not so fun looking clouds. So we'll try to make this quick outside and hopefully it doesn't rain. But to start off, you have this like little lake pond that's like your own, because I mean, the other closest house would be that yellow house right there. And then there is some turtles. There's one over on the log over there. I don't know if you can see him very well. But there was a couple geese, and they had like a teenager geese. It wasn't quite a baby, but it wasn't full grown yet. So I'm going to say it's a teenager goose. But there's wildlife. Maybe there's fish. So maybe you could, cast a line from pretty much your driveway. I mean, if you wanted to, you could go a little ways down, but if you're good enough, see, like I said, it's windy. If you're good enough, you could probably cast from your driveway. I also like that they added that sidewalk there. Kind of gives you a little more room. So if you're parking, you could park all the way over here, but as you can see, if it gets wet, it gets muddy. So park here, then you've got room to step out and not step into the grass or the mud. So the other thing is your neighbor has a boat, so maybe if you befriend them, maybe they'll take you boating. I'm just kidding, but let's go check out the inside before it starts raining. So this home has a few updates. They've done some newer stuff to it, like the roof is brand new as of 2026. It's only about a month old. Fresh paint on the interior. I will say there is some odd colors of paint. To start off the living room, it's like a minty green, and then your downstairs wall is this same color. It's like a grayish, bluish, purplish color. It looks way different on camera than it does in person, but it's more of a neutral color. That's probably one of the most neutral colors of the house. But here's your living room. You do have kind of like a step up, so your entryway is like separate from your living room. So that's pretty nice. You've got lots of ways you could set up your living room, but the thing that is nice is you have an outlet right here. So if you have like a couch here, and I would probably do like a couch here, leave a little gap right here, maybe put another chair or like recliner here, and then same on this side right here. And then I'd put like my TV right here, or vice versa, just move the TV here, do a little stand. The only problem with that is there's the air right there, so you don't want to cover that up most likely, but you do have a fan in your living room, so that's nice. But there's your living room. Let's move on to the dining room / kitchen. Now it's more of a dining area, not really a dining room. It is on the smaller side. I mean, you could probably fit one of those like circular breakfast tables, or at most I would do like a 4-person like square table, and then you do have like a little bar area, bar top, not bar stool height, but just regular chair height for your countertops, which they do have new countertops in the kitchen. It's butcher block style countertops, and from the looks of it, it doesn't look like literally anybody's used it. The only thing I have about these is, how do you clean these properly? Because like personally, I would probably just use a wooden cutting board and not cut on this directly, because I would want to keep this nice. But what happens if you spill like raw chicken juice or raw meat juice on the counter? How do you clean that? Because like there is some spots like right here, I can feel there's a gap. The rest of it's pretty smooth, but if you spill stuff on it, how are you supposed to clean it properly? Because I don't think there's a real good way to clean it. I mean, you could spray cleaning products on it, but then you couldn't really cut, like, we'll say produce. Like if you have like vegetables and fruits you're cutting up, you don't want to get the chemicals you cleaned the countertop with into your thing. But like I said, I'd probably just use a cutting board separately and not cut anything on the countertops. The other nice thing about these is these little things. This one's a little difficult, but they're little outlet holes. So you've got an outlet on this side and this side. Same thing with this one. And then they are flush. So when you push them down, they stay out of the way. So you can still put stuff on top of them and not worrying about you know, messing stuff up. So, I mean, if you have your mixer over here or whatever else plugged in, you can use it here. But, I mean, I probably wouldn't even plug anything in over here because you have this little area. This would probably be like your microwave area where it already is. Maybe you have a toaster here, your coffee machine, you know, blender. That would probably be what this area would be used for. And then I would store like my pots and pans, crock pots down here in this area because I would probably use that stuff less. And then my more used dishes would probably go in the cupboards over there by the dishwasher. So I'm not having to, you know, oh, 1 cup over here, another cup over here. Now, I don't know what to call these because if I close it like this, it closes slow. So like it's almost slow close. So I just kind of push it shut from far away. It slow closes. But if you just give a little oomph behind it, it's not really slow close anymore. Now it does have the little rubber pads to help when you close it, to make it a little more quieter so it's not just cabinet on cabinet when you slam it. But you do have newer handles on all of your cabinets. You have this whole thing all the way up here and then all the way throughout the kitchen. If I remember correctly, the Lazy Susan is also new. So, I mean, that turns pretty smooth. Look how smooth that is. It went all the way around and I gave it just a little push. And then I like the ones that lock into place like that because you're not worried about it getting stuck, sticking out like this. And if you happen to stand in the corner, you're not stabbing yourself in the leg or whatnot. But this is a pretty nice kitchen. The only downside is the washer, the dishwasher, and the stove are a little close. Because if you have one of these open, the other one can't be opened. So, I mean, I guess there's another Lazy Susan over here. I think both of those are new then. And that one, just like the other one, turns, locks into place. That's why I didn't see it. But I would probably, if it was me, I'd rather have the dishwasher on this side and then scoot the sink flip-flopped. So, now, you do have a pretty big, like, almost industrial style sink. It looks flush mounted, but sadly it's not. There is a tiny lip, so you can't brush crumbs directly in. Some big crumbs you could, but everything else you'd have to bring off the edge and then dump into the sink. Now, Blake had a coffee this morning. He already washed his cup, but I can show you the cup washer. So it's one of the ones, I mean, most of you probably know how to use it. You just take your cup, push down. It is very loud when it's hitting the cup, but there was coffee in here and no, it doesn't look like there was coffee in there. So we will leave that there to clean up for later and cover this back up. But, I mean, pretty nice sink. You got a window right here in front of it to let some light in, or you can close it up when it gets dark out. So that's it for this part of the kitchen. Your fridge is right here. I kind of like where the fridge is. It's not like in the center of the kitchen, but it's still in the kitchen. Now you do have a pantry right here, and it looks like they put in this lighting. So you have the little light switch that's mounted right here. And so you just click the button to turn it on or off, but it's like mounted on the side so you don't have something directly coming in. So if you're trying to look up here, you're not getting the light in your eyes. But I mean, if you peek around, you still hardly get light in your eyes because it's right up against the frame of the door. But there's your pantry, just some extra storage space. So I'd probably put more stuff in there. Maybe you could put your crock pot and stuff in there, but like I said, you have this right here, which goes back pretty far, so you've got lots of room in there. So I would probably just keep all my big pots and pans and stuff like that. Let's go check out the backyard real quick. So, I know we said we're not going back outside because it's like stormy looking out here, but this is your backyard. You looks like you have either a newer fence or just repainted on this side and the back side. I hope you can't hear the dogs barking, but it's fine. It looks like some of the deck is newer, like some of the pieces are newer, but then some of it doesn't look that great. Like, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but this piece is like bending in like a curve. Oh well. And then you do have an awning. I don't know how this works fully. I know you have this little thing right here, which hooks into there. I don't know if it comes out straight on its own or if you're supposed to have, there's like 5 dogs over there. But I don't know if there's like a place to hook it up or if it just comes out straight and stays out. I'm not really sure how that works, but that'd be really nice for during the day if you just want some shade. Let's make our way back inside. Hopefully the dogs aren't too much. So that's it for the main part of the house. Now let's go take our time and check out some of the bedrooms. So you do have some of the, like I said, the newer stuff, but like the carpet seems kind of old. The house was built in 2011. So you do have some updates, some things that aren't. I said bedrooms, but let's go check out this. This is your laundry room. And like I said, there's newer paint in here and it's a different color. So you have like the minty green in your living room and then down the hallway. But then this one's like a light blue, not the same as the one that goes downstairs where it's like a purpley gray blue color. But more paint. I will say, if you do paint in your house, it looks like they painted it just before they like moved out fully. Like they moved out and were like, all right, let's throw on some paint. There is some spots, it looks like maybe they patched holes because like that's different. I don't know if you can hear that wool. This sounds more hollow and I can feel like there's a texture difference. So maybe there was a hole and they patched it, but it looks like this whole spot right here. There's also some of the paint. You can kind of see through it. It's like sheer, so either not great quality or they just didn't do a great job. So when it comes to stuff like that, hiring a professional to do the job right is your best option. So you also have this right here. They have a full security ring system throughout the house. They have sensors on the doors, like right there. I don't really know how this thing works. It looks like there's a speaker or something, but it connects everything. You've got ring cameras outside and that's new and it stays with the house. So let's take our time and check out the garage. So nothing too special about this garage. I will say it is a little short. So if you had like a really long car, we'll say like a limo, it's not fitting in here. No way. But you do have some storage up here above the cars. So you have this up here, you could put stuff up, and then you have this side as well. This side's a little bit deeper, so as you can see, they have like lawnmower and weed whacker and leaf blower all over here. So you could have a little extra storage. They do have a radon mitigation system installed. 2019 is what it says right there. So not super new, but it's only like 7 years old this year. So not bad. And then I don't know if you could see this on camera. I saw this red light flashing on the ground and I was like, what is that? I still don't really know what it is, but I have a good guess. It's up there. It just stopped flashing. Okay. It looks like a little mini security camera, but is it like a sensor? So like when you're pulling your car in, you don't pull it in too far? Is that what that's supposed to be used for? If you know, please tell me, because I thought that was neat. I was like, I don't know what the red dot is, but you also have attic access as well. That is just one of your attic accesses. I mean, if I was going in the attic, I would use this one because the other one's in the master bedroom closet, and I wouldn't want to try to climb up there from the master bedroom closet, but we'll check it out in a second. This is the master bedroom. So pretty decent size. If it was me, I'd put my bed up against this window, have like a TV on a dresser right there, and then you've got room on the ends for little side tables, a nice little fan up here. But yeah, there's your master bedroom. It's pretty big. You could probably fit a king size. It might be a little crammed if you had extra stuff on the sides. So probably a queen, but you could fit a king size in here. Now, one of the things when selling a house is making sure, I'm going to say little. This isn't little, that's a big hole. But doors are, we'll say, a little thing. About half the doors in this house have either big holes or little holes. So maybe Kyle had too much monster energy and punched a hole through the door. Don't know. I just kind of thought it was funny because you have your completely remodeled master bathroom. So you've got like a new shower, new tile, new paint. You've got this little medicine cabinet right here off to the side, new vanity, new toilet, new mirror. It's all new. And then you've got a hole in the door. I thought that was funny, but like I said, it's all new. I thought this was pretty neat. So this is one of those mirrors. I've only seen this in one other house. I think this thing is for like de-steaming the window. When like if you're taking a hot shower and it steams up, I think that's what that's for. And then you can always turn this light on or off. But it's also another medicine cabinet. But I like the fact that there's mirrors on the inside of it. So you can still see through here. This side's a mirror. I did wish it opened a little more. Like, cause I would open this all the way up against this wall and say I'm doing my hair right here and Blake needs to use the mirror. He's not having to squeeze in over here or go use another bathroom because this opens all the way, but it doesn't. It stops right there. So that's the thing I would change about it. Now, you do have an outlet on this wall right here, but you also have an outlet right here. There's 2 outlets and then 2 like USB plugins right there. So that's pretty nice. Be a nice little place to get ready in the morning. And then I really like the shower. So it looks like they put a new flooring thing in, new shower head. The tile is very dark. I like the dark blue. It's very pretty. And then you have this door right here. Pretty tall. There's like a little plastic thing on the inside so water doesn't go out through the gap. You do have a gap over here and you do have a gap over here, but, or I guess this side is sealed. It looks like they did like clear caulking. Sealed this side, but this side is not sealed. So, I'm not sure about what was going on. They did put a bumper over here. Little rubber things. So that doesn't, I mean, if you slammed it open hard enough, you'll probably put a hole in it, but that's a little bumper right there to keep it from slamming. So that's bedroom number 1, your master bedroom. Let's check out the closet real quick. I almost forgot about this. But here's your closet. Now, this is a pretty decent size master closet. There's your attic access. The only problem I have with it is it's a big size, but there's not a lot of like clothing storage. You have these 3 racks and that's it. If it was me, I would probably want another like rack or something over here. Now, another thing I've noticed is there's a few odd things about this house. Like there's a different carpet here. I don't know what happened here, but as you can see, there's like literally a square cut out. Maybe there did used to be something there. Like I said, it looks like there's been some patching and then repainting. I can definitely tell because like it looks like they did the outline and then left the middle part like just 1 coat and then did like 2 coats here. But like this wall looks a little better from like here to about here, and then you can see more of the streaks. But just like I said, hire a professional to do the job, make sure it gets done right. And then you also don't have a normal light in here. It's literally just like an LED bar right here, which they connected it to the thing, so I mean it works. And it's nice too, but it's really bright if I look right at it. But I mean, I don't think you're gonna be looking right at it. So that's the end of bedroom number 1. We have our second bathroom right here. Now, like I said, only that one bathroom was updated. That's probably about the only fully updated room in the house, besides maybe the basement. Excuse me. But this is probably original to 2011. You have kind of a laminate countertops that's like plasticky, and it goes behind here. It's definitely like a 2000s type thing right there. You have your tub shower combo. It looks like you do have like newer shower heads, like because you have this one that comes out and then you have this one too. So I like that they put the handle over here rather than directly under. It kind of sits, looks like it sits nicer. Then they have this like newer towel rack. It's kind of odd how some of the stuff is newer and then some of it's not. know. But this is meant for like, oh, I can hang one towel here, hang one towel here, one towel here, one towel here, and then there's another little hook or two little hooks right there. It's just kind of odd looking because you look at that and at first you're like, what is that? But it's a towel rack. Okay, bedroom number 3. They're all pretty much copy and paste with the closets besides the master. Master is the only one that's different. Everything else is copy and paste though. Just the insides of the closet are a little bit different. Because like this one, you've got 3 different sections. Not too bad. But there's your second bedroom. Out of 5, I don't think I've mentioned that yet, but it's 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2,350 square feet. Here's your linen closet. Nothing too special there, just a little closet. This is your 3rd bedroom, and like I said, they're all copy and paste besides the closet. This one's pretty similar. It's the ones downstairs, I think, that are a little bit different. You do have a bar missing, but it's right there, so don't have to worry about that. There is some scuffs in the door, like I said. There's holes, there's stuff. So you might need new doors if you buy this house, but there's a few little other things. But that is our upstairs. I see more holes right there as I'm walking by. Right there, right there. But if I can see it when I'm walking by, I'm not gonna like it. So that's it for upstairs. Let's make our way downstairs. And another thing I saw, it's really small, but right here you kind of have this ledge that comes out. And I guess they didn't prepare for it on the first step because there's an empty gap right there where the carpet just kind of hangs down. There we go. But like the carpet just kind of hangs down and is there, so not really sure what to do there. I don't know. I'm not a professional when it comes to that stuff. They do have curtains up on this little sliding rack, so you can close that. It doesn't really block out much noise. But I guess it gives you a little more privacy. If you've got something going on downstairs and something else going on upstairs, or maybe your downstairs is messy and you don't want people to look down, just close it. Because I mean, I can see the front door from right there, but not too big of a problem. The flooring down here is newer. I do like the flooring, but personally, the big knots like these where there's just like a black hole, not too big of a fan. But like the pieces like this, where I can still see the texture and maybe there's just a little spot, I like this one. That's just a personal preference type thing. Another thing right here, literally got a black split right there. Again, personal preference. I just like it that way. Now, you do have a pool table, and I'm not 100% sure if it stays with the house, but more likely than not, if you see a house that's empty and there's either a pool table or a piano, those are like the 2 things you can't get rid of. Those usually stay with the house. So you get a pool table. And in the unfinished room, there is like a little cover for it. So you can like put down like a sheet type thing and then lay the ping pong table on top of this. So it doubles as ping pong table. But there you go. Now, one of the other things I'll point out, again with the paint, picking, we'll say more of a neutral color. I will say this bluish, grayish, purplish one, this is a more neutral, like we'll say regular color. Now when you go and put this blue in, people kind of look at that and they're like, oh, I don't really like that. And there is a lot of buyers out there that are really picky when it comes to just paint colors in a house. And I mean, I don't blame you. If I don't like the color, I don't like the color. But that's one of the things you kind of have to look past is, hey, I can repaint this wall. I can match it to the other colors. This isn't a huge like turning away factor if it was me buying a house. Like, oh, I just have to paint the wall. Fine. But then again, like I said, there's like streaks where the paint was either cheap, too thin, or they just didn't do a great job. And then same with like the corners. You got this blue kind of on the side of the wall. You got this one on this side of the wall. So if you do it yourself, make sure you do it right, take your time with it, and make it look good. Because people notice stuff like that, especially when they're buying a house, because they're like, oh, well, this is going to be my house. I want it to look good. So just take your time with stuff. The only other thing I'll point out for the basement area is two things. You have a drop tile ceiling, which it's honestly a pretty nice looking drop tile ceiling. It's got more of a design in it rather than that like kind of regular styrofoam. You do lose a little bit of headspace though. As you can see, there you go. There's a little something falling down. But it's not like the other ones where you see, I feel like everyone calls them like church. Like you see them in churches. Like there was a church I used to go to that had this exact tile in a bunch of the rooms. But it wasn't this. It was like the one with like the holes in it you could see. But you also do have a sound system. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And I'm guessing your TV would go right here, plug it in, and then connect it to all those speakers. But there's your basement. We'll go take a look at the unfinished area real quick. You have a pretty wide door for the unfinished area. But this room's kind of just extra storage space. I mean, you probably could extend the living room out if you really wanted to, but you would lose a lot of storage space if you did that. So I would probably just keep it how it is, leave that up, keep the family room, because the family room's already a decent size. You don't really need more space in there, but it is an option if you wanted to. You could always turn this into like a hobby room, so you could finish off the walls, make it a bonus room. So like sewing, you know, craft area. Blake with his RC planes would be a good area for that. A home gym maybe, you know. Lots of possibilities with an empty room like this. Now, you do have a little space under the stairs. So you could always, you know, like I said, finish this off and then have a door put in here and have an extra storage space. But it's all personal preference. Let's go take a look at the rest of the bedrooms, because there's 3 upstairs and we have 2 left plus 1 more bathroom. So this is pretty much a copy and paste bathroom of the other one upstairs. You got the same layout, it's just mirrored. So same thing here. This is different though, the shower head. I'm losing my words here. The shower head is different. I mean, the towel bar is also different, so it's like they picked a couple things upstairs and then forgot about this bathroom, I guess. Don't know. But this bedroom I feel like is a little bit bigger than the one upstairs, because I think mainly the rooms upstairs just kind of like came out where this didn't go in. It was just straight out, and then yeah. So you lost probably that much space, but it makes it feel way bigger in here. You do have your closet. Another thing I said, there's a few things about this house that isn't that great. Like, that's peeling. It doesn't even look like someone messed with it. It's just peeling. There's another hole in that door. Another Kyle hole. But this closet is probably one of the most different ones. So you have way more storage in here. This we were looking at and we're like, this is odd. You have like shelves, but what is this behind here? And we think it's like the drain system for the master bedroom, because the master bedroom is kind of just right above this. So maybe it's the toilet, maybe it's like the shower, but I'm guessing this is clean out that little cube down there. But there's your 4th bedroom. Let's go check out our 5th bedroom. And then we only have one last thing after the 5th bedroom. So this one's really mirrored image of that 4th bedroom. Same type of deal. Closet. This one doesn't look as bad. It's definitely not as big as the other one, I feel. Definitely less storage space, but that is it for our home tour for the bedroom parts. Last room, final room, is the utility room. So, utilities in here. You've got your furnace, you got your water heater, your sump pump and radon mitigation Those ones are newer. The one in the garage is 2019, but I think the sump pump said it was only a year old. So some of that's newer, but it's a little small for a mechanical room, but I don't mind. So finally, that is it for our home tour of 2813 West 44th Street South in Wichita, Kansas. If you're interested in this home and you want to come see it, come stop by our open house. It's going to be this Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. Or if you're seeing this video after it, always call for your private viewing at 316-210-3501. And thanks for watching.